Hey guys, it's Death Metal Gimli. As I was saying before in my previous videos, I had to revamp the team just because Genesect was in fact banned from the OU metagame. So what I ended up doing was just kind of remaking the whole team. I wanted to keep the core of Tyranitar and Mandibuzz. Um, Mandibuzz just because I like it, and Tyranitar because I really wanted to try out this weakness policy rock polish set. Um, so we'll just going through the team really quickly. There's Tyranitar, which is weakness policy, rock polish. Mandibuzz, which is physically defensive, defog user. And then instead of Mega Garchomp, I wanted to try out kyurem-black. I just wanted to do this because it had a little bit more of a mix set. Mega Garchomp still has a really potent mix set, but I wanted to try out kyurem-black instead. Um, and then of course there's Mega Venusaur. Mega Venusaur is really scary in this meta game actually because it counters a lot of really powerful Pokemon such as Azumarill and Conkeldurr, so I wanted to give that a try. And this is primarily the reason why I switched to kyurem-black instead of Mega Garchomp, so I could use Mega Venusaur. I felt like I needed a strong revenge killer and another wall breaker, so I felt Aegislash was a really good user, or a really good Pokemon for both these roles, as I can revenge kill with Shadow Sneak and start smacking things around with really powerful Shadow Balls. I just need something to round out the team. I needed Stealth Rocks as well, just because rocks are so important in this metagame. So I decided to pick landorus-therian. I'm just using a bulkier set. Not a lot of thought really put into it. Just Stealth Rock, Earthquake things, U-turn just for momentum, and for more opportunities to switch into Tyranitar. Because that's what I found with the last team was that I couldn't really switch into it without it just outright dying. So just a little bit more specifically though, this Tyranitar, I'm using Crunch for strong, powerful stab, Fire Blast instead of Stone Edge, just because I don't want to. If I get a sweep going, I don't want to risk missing Stone Edge. I know Fire Blast is only 5% more accurate, but I've had much better luck with it than Stone Edge. I also have Ice Beam just for like things such as landorus-therian or Garchomp that want to come in. The EVs, it's just maximum attack, just because I do plan on spamming Crunch the most. Max speed so that I can pretty much outspeed most of the metagame after a rock polish. I have I have naive nature instead of hasty, just because with Sandstorm up, his special defense is going to be significantly higher than his regular defense. So I didn't want to take away from his defense more, because his special defense will still be higher than his regular defense, even after the minus special defense nature. Mandibuzz, well, these two I kind of went over in my last video, but I'll briefly go over them. So I need a defog user. I also wanted something that could knock off, just because knockoff is such a powerful move in this gen. And I needed a phaser, so I wanted to use Mandibuzz just because he's such an amazing physical wall. Like, he's got the 110 base HP and 105 defense. Like, that's just ridiculous. So yeah, I just have Roost, Defog, Knockoff, Whirlwind, he's kind of more of a support than the more pivoty set of the foul play. EVs are pretty simple, just max defense for an attack for that slightly more powerful knockoff. But yeah. Alright, so kyurem-black. This set I kind of found on Smogon. And like I said I wanted to use Mega Venusaur, so I couldn't use Mega Garchomp anymore. So I opted to go for kyurem-black, just because he does maintain the really powerful wall breaking that Mega Garchomp had. And I'm not sure what's going on with my EVs, but it does look like they reset. So I don't know what's going on with that, but whatever. Substitute, just because if you can get kyurem-black behind a substitute, he's really hard to take down. So because he has substitute, I'm giving him leftovers. I opted to go for Fusion Bolt just because it gives better coverage with my team. Like, I'm not too worried about dragon types because I do have Landorus and Mandibuzz, so I felt the Fusion Bolt was better, just especially for things such as Slowbro or other bulky waters. So I'm using Fusion Bolt over Dragon Claw. Ice Beam for stab, and it's also really great for taking out a lot of really powerful things in the meta. Like I said, like Landorus-Therian. I might change this to Dragon Claw just because I do have Ice Beam on Tyranitar, but we'll see how that works out. And then Earth Power is a really important move on this Pokemon just because it has the ability Terravolt. So what this does is it prevents things with Levitate from avoiding Earth Power. So this thing is a great counter to Rotom because I can just kill it with Earth Power. Most Rotom will expect physical attacking Kyurem, so I can go in there and just spam Earth Power and hopefully kill it. EVs are a little bit more complicated, just max speed, but I'm using a Lonely Nature. I'm doing this just because I will probably want to switch this thing in on Rotoms, so I don't want to compromise its special bulk. However, because it's lonely, it is going to compromise its weaknesses to priority, such as Conkeldurr's Mach Punch or Scizor's Bullet Punch. So I'm going to have to be aware that I have to take out those types of Pokemon before I can start setting up with Kyurem. Or if I can get it up behind a sub before I start dealing with those Pokemon, that would be great. Mega Venusaur is so scary in this gen. I needed something to deal with Azumarill because Azumarill destroys both of my the Pokemon I wanted to keep in this video. So I need something that could deal with it really easily. So I decided to go for the Leech Seed Giga Drain set just because I guess there's no really reason. I thought this was enough recovery. There's sets that go Leech Seed, Giga Drain, Synthesis, and then Earthquake. But I wanted Knock Off as well, just because Venusaur is such a bulky Pokemon. I can get a lot of utility from it in the throughout the game. I went for a Brave Nature because I'm not really too concerned about it speeding many things. I have no speed investment anyway, so I'm not too worried about it. But Max Special Defense just because it works really well working with Mandibuzz as a specially defensive Pokemon. When it Mega Evolves, it does get Thick Fat, so it's no longer weak to Ice. So it has pretty good synergy with Mandibuzz, especially because it resists Fairy Pokemon. I put the 4 extra EVs in attack just because of Knock Off and Earthquake. It's not really going to affect it that much, but I just decided to put it in there. Like I said before, I wanted another Wall Breaker with Kyurem and then a Revenge Killer, so I thought Aegislash was a great Pokemon because the mixed attacking set is really good at achieving both of those goals. I'm running a Quiet Nature so that Shadow Ball is, of course, the most powerful as it can be, and I keep forgetting to change that to 0. So I will theoretically outslow or speed tie with any other Aegislash that's running a minus speed nature. Moveset's pretty self-explanatory. Shadow Ball for smacking things really hard. Shadow Sneak for revenge killing with the priority. Sacred Sword because it has amazing coverage with these 2 moves. And then King Shield for potentially lowering my opponent's attack and then getting more leftovers recovery. I could have picked Weakness Policy, but I feel like it's too common of an Aegislash item to run anymore. And Knockoff is so prevalent, it doesn't really matter. So with leftovers, I can at least get a little bit of my health back throughout the match. EV's full attack and special attack investment. Positive Nature for special attack, just because I want to hit with the Shadow Ball as hard as I can. The last Pokemon is, I guess this is the more pivot Landorus set. So I've got Stealth Rock, just because rocks are so important, and then Earthquake and Stone Edge for the Edgequake combo. Oops. And then of course I've got U-turn just to keep my momentum up, which is really important, especially with Weakness Policy Tyranitar. So just the EVs, it's just Adamant Nature, max attack, max HP, nothing too fancy here. Alright, so that's the team preview. I'm going to go ahead and find a battle right now. I'm going to sign in under my actual username though, because I have a bunch of proxies that I like to use just because it doesn't affect my ladder rating if I'm testing out teams and things like that. So here we go. So good luck, have fun. Alright, so right now that Greninja is already kind of scaring me. Nothing else on his team. That Conkeldurr, oh, okay, alright. Alright, we'll find another one then. Good luck, have fun. That Talonflame is going to be kind of a pain because I don't really have too much to deal with it. Mandibuzz, I'm going to have to keep at a really high HP just so I can sponge a hit or two. Same with Landorus, because I don't think it can OHKO with a Brave Bird. Um, in terms of leads, I kind of want to lead with Venusaur actually, because I can start knocking things off. Come on, guys, let's get a battle here. I might just cut this out if he doesn't come back. If he does come back, then I'll just cut this section out and go to where he comes back. But yeah, we're off to a good start now. Alright, so we ended up not coming back, so I'm just going to cut that out and go on to a next battle for you guys. So good luck, have fun. Please don't forfeit. This is kind of an interesting team. This is kind of a stall team, it looks like. So his whole purpose of this team is probably to weaken my team and then come in with Talonflame and just sweep. So I'm tempted to lead with Mandibuzz, just because I predict that Sableye to lead. And Mandibuzz doesn't really mind having a burn. Yeah, so I'll go ahead and do that. Yeah, I did predict that correctly. He can't really do anything to me. He does go for a taunt, that's fine. I'm just going straight for the knockoff. I could keep going for knockoffs, but he could just recover stall me, so that's kind of annoying. I don't really want to deal with that. And that's not really interesting for you guys, so I might just go into Venusaur. I don't want to burn on my Venusaur, however, so I'm kind of realizing this about my team, is my team doesn't really like burns, like at all. So we'll see. He goes for a Toxic. Alright, that's a huge pain. So he might not even have the Will-O-Wisp. I kind of expect him to have it, however. I kind of want to go into Venusaur. If he burns me, that sucks. I don't usually see dual status Sableye, so I'd just like to point out right now that the sprites look amazing in the new Showdown. I'm really pleased with how they turned out. Although I think Venusaur looks kind of like a retarded frog, but regardless. I kind of just want to go for a knockoff, predicting that Ferrothorn. I could just switch into Tyranitar as well. I'm just going to knock off. If I was really cheeky, I would go into Tyranitar, but I really don't want to burn on Tyranitar. Okay, so he does decide to stay in. He goes for the taunt. That's fine. I'm just going to attack you. Just go for a Giga Drain, because he does have the dual status. That's kind of a pain, actually. I don't like that. This is going to be really difficult for me to take this thing out now, actually. I could just go into Aegislash and go for a Shadow Ball. But he's just going to keep recovering and be that guy. I don't like this play, because he's not gaining anything from this other than being kind of annoying. Like he burned my Venusaur and poisoned my Mandibuzz. But you can't really do... Okay, he does decide to switch out. Okay. He's not Sapsip or Goodra. That is completely fine. I almost predict a Fire Blast or something along those lines, so I'm going to knock off. He goes for Flamethrower. Okay. I have Thick Fat, like I said. It doesn't do anything. He does have the Assault Vest. Okay. So he is not Sapsipper, so I can throw up a Leech Seed. If I do miss the Leech Seed, that's going to suck, however, but I might be able to gain... Okay, I do hit it. I might be able to gain back more HP just from Giga Drain that I'm losing. If not, I could always go into Landorus or even kyurem-black at this point. I could go into Tyranitar too, actually. I don't think he would have anything to hit me with except for perhaps Dragon Tail, but I'm going to go for a Giga Drain. He goes for Draco Meteor. Okay. So this is prime opportunity for Kyurem to come in and set up a substitute. He's not going to want to stay in. Little does he know, I don't have anything really to hit him with other than Ice Beam. But I'm going to substitute. He's going to want to save this, so he goes into Florges. That's fine. I can start going for Fusion Bolts now, or I think Fusion Bolt is the best choice because it is... Florges has a lot of special defense, so I'm going to go for Fusion Bolt. He goes for Protect. That's totally fine. Nothing really wants to switch in on this, however. He might switch into his Sableye. No, I don't really... He might just stay in. He could also go into Ferrothorn. I don't know. I'm not really sure what he's doing. He's got a little bit weird of a Sableye set, so okay, so he does go into Ferrothorn. I think Ice Beam will still do a decent chunk to this thing, so I'm gonna go for an Ice Beam. It does not. Alright. I'm actually really disappointed with that. I know Ferrothorn's kind of bulky, but regardless. How much did Fusion Bolt do? 16%. Ice Beam is doing more. He goes for the Gyro Ball. I'm actually not sure if I'll be able to live another one. So I'm just going to calc this real quick. Kyurem. Oops. Kyurem-black. I am the minus. I am lonely as well. And then Ferrothorn. Gyro Ball, it shouldn't kill me actually, so maybe I'll just go and stay for another Ice Beam. It does not kill me. I'm okay with that. I could go for an Earth Power, but it wouldn't hit anything any harder than Ice Beam would, so I'm just gonna go for another Ice Beam. It'd be nice if I could get this thing back above substitute level. So he might just Moonblast. He could also go for Protect. I'm gonna Fusion Bolt. I'll get some nice damage off on it regardless. Yeah, look, that does tons of damage. He goes for a Wish. That's totally fine. He's gonna Protect this turn. If he doesn't, he's pretty smart. So I'm gonna Substitute, because I predict the Protect. So that'll put me back behind a Substitute. I could potentially 2-hit KO this thing. He does go for the Protect. Okay, that puts me in a good spot then. Kyurem is kind of proving to be a little bit more useful than I thought he would be. I don't know how I feel about Fusion Bolt instead of Dragon Claw though, but we'll see. I wouldn't be able to hit this Florges if I had Dragon Claw, so I can't really get rid of Earth Power because I need it for the Rotoms, because I haven't seen one today yet, but Rotom is very popular in the metagame right now. Sableye? This won't like it. Yeah, okay. Well, that's a huge threat going out of my out of the way, so I'm okay with that. Talonflame. I'm tempted to just leave this thing in to die. Well, do I have anything that can deal with Goodra? Landorus doesn't mind that. Ferrothorn's taken out with anything at that point. Mandibuzz could be kind of a pain. I do have the Ice Beam on Tyranitar, but I don't think I'll be able to kill it easily. So actually, I'm going to switch out. I might go into Mandibuzz just because it is toxic. It's not as useful to me as Landorus is. So I can go into Mandibuzz. I think I can survive a 2-hit KO. I'm just going to calc this real quick just because I don't want to lose the game just because Kyurem dies to Stealth Rocks. So Talonflame and then Mandibuzz. So this is the Jolly Choice Band set. Won't quite 2-hit KO me. After Rocks it will, however. I think I'm just going to go into Landorus, actually. I need to get these rocks off the field. The Intimidate's going to be nice, too. He goes for an Acrobatics, and that does absolutely nothing. I could either Stealth Rock, or I could U-turn. I think I'm going to Stealth Rock, so this Talonflame is taking a lot of damage when he switches in. He goes for the U-turn. Okay, that's fine. This means I can basically bring in Mandibuzz on any of his Pokemon and go for a Defog. I kind of predict him to Defog right now, so I'm going to U-turn and go into my own Mandibuzz. Do I want to do that actually? I could go... No, I don't want to be too cheeky, because I could go into Tyranitar and start throwing off Ice Beams, but I don't want to risk that. I'm going to go into my own Mandibuzz. He goes for a knockoff. Okay, so it's a good thing I didn't switch into anything else. I kind of want to go for a knockoff of my own, because I think he's gonna probably defog to get rid of that the rocks for the Talonflame. So I'm gonna go for a knockoff. Yeah, because rocks are definitely hurting him a little bit more than they're hurting me at this point. He does go for the defog. That's fine. I'm gonna go for the Roost and then switch out. Because I would like Mandibuzz to be fairly healthy. It helps me deal with that that Talonflame. Because if I can get a free switch into it, I can avoid the 2-hit KO. I can avoid the 1-hit KO and then hit back with a knockoff or something like that. I'm kind of predicting an Ice Beam. I want to go into Tyranitar. Tyranitar is not doing a whole lot for me in this match anyway. I'm going to go into Tyranitar. He goes for the T-Bolt. Okay, that's fine. I kind of want to go straight for a Crunch, actually. I could Rock Polish as well, because I don't think Goodra has anything to hit me with. And if he does, and it hits the weakness policy, then I'll be able to sweep the rest of his team, probably. I think Rock Polish is a good play, actually. I think I'm going to go for Rock Polish. If I hit this thing, I don't think an Ice Beam will kill it from there, however, so I'll have to hit it with a Crunch. I'll go down to -1 speed. If that kills it, then I'm still in a good spot. Actually, I do outspeed most of his team right now. I could just go for a Crunch. Nothing wants to take that. I'm going to go for a Crunch, actually. Okay, he does switch out. He goes into Mandibuzz. The nice thing about this, though, is I can go for an Ice Beam. And that should be enough to 2-hit KO it. He goes for the knockoff. Okay, knocks off my weakness policy. That's fine. It's going to be really close, actually, but I'm going to try for it again. Oh, he lives on 1%. The luck. That's fine. I'm just going to keep going for Ice Beams. I'm not losing anything, really. Like I said, Tyranitar's not really doing a whole lot for me this match, except for countering that Talonflame, but I'm not the regular Tyranitar that's like more of a pivot, so I don't know if a Crunch will kill. I don't really want to find out. I could go into Aegislash, but then I'll be taking damage on it when I don't think that's necessary. I don't really have a good switch in, however, though. I would really like to get Kyurem back in and get another sub up, because I think I could just sweep through the rest of his team if I do that. I'm going to go into Aegislash, just because I can keep Tyranitar around for that Talonflame. I want to stay in... Do I want to do that, actually? I want to stay in attack form, or defense form, because I will be slower than him next turn, because he's going to go for the Protect this turn. The only thing that scares me is if he doesn't go for the Protect, and he switches out to something else. I kind of want to hit that, so I could switch back into Kyurem, actually. Actually, I'm going to switch back into Landorus. He does switch out. Okay, so he goes into Ferrothorn. I'm totally fine with that. He gets some of his health back, but I could either Stealth Rock or Earthquake. I think Earthquake would easily 2-hit KO this thing, but I kind of predict his Mandibuzz to come back in. If he Leech Seeds, I'm kind of in a bad spot, but I can just switch out. I probably won't U-turn just because of the Iron Barbs. I don't know why he brought this thing in. I could have just, I could easily have Sacred Sworded with the Aegislash and killed it. I guess he was probably predicting me to predict his Protect, so I guess that's a fair play. But, yeah, I'm kind of regretting letting my Venusaur die that quickly. I should have kept it around, because it would have been useful for that, excuse me, for that, Florges, but, yeah, I guess that was all it was really good for. That's fine, so. What happened happened. I can't really change that. It was kind of countered directly by Talonflame, because I think Talonflame OHKOs even physically defensive Venusaur, and I have specially defensive, so. Regardless. He's taking his sweet old time, and I'm not, oh, there we go. He does go for the Leech Seed. That's totally fine. If he Gyro Balls, Tyranitar's dead. I don't think he'll Gyro Ball a Landorus, however, so I'm going to go into Tyranitar and see what happens. He goes for Rocks, that's fine. I I kind of just want to Fire Blast, even though that Goodra and that Florges are still there. I could Crunch also. I'm just gonna go for a Fire Blast. He might not expect me to have it, so we'll see what happens. I don't think I've shown it yet. Might as well look, because he's taking his time. I've shown him Ice Beam, I think. Oh, okay, I hit him. Wow, that doesn't kill. And that doesn't kill, because of the minus the attack drop, so... alright, I'm just gonna go for... I don't expect him to stay in, but, so Fire Blast, that is 110 times 2, so 220. Yeah, an Ice Beam should kill, so I'm gonna go for Ice Beam instead of Fire Blast, predicting either the Mandibuzz or the Goodra. I think the Goodra will probably come in. Maybe even the Florges. Florges won't like taking a Crunch, however. Even though it is resisted, it's still on its really weak physical side, so we'll see what happens. I need to get back into my Mandibuzz, though, just so I can defog. But, if I do defog, I'm going to have to go in... He goes into Goodra, okay. If I do defog, I'm going to have to get my rocks back up again just for that Talonflame. And I should outspeed this thing, I think, so I'm going to Ice Beam. And hopefully I outspeed it, because he was Assault Vest. He probably doesn't have any speed investment, just because Goodra's pretty slow. I think it has base, I want to say 90 speed. I'm not quite sure, so I'm going to check the data on that. It has base 80 speed, so if he's full speed, he'll probably outspeed me, but I really don't expect him to have full speed investment. And he's taking his sweet old time. I'm sorry about this, guys. Didn't expect this to happen. Been having a lot of luck with the battles today. What was that, 2 forfeits, and then the guy's taking forever. Well, regardless, I think I'm in a good spot here. That Ferrothorn is almost dead. Mandibuzz is going to be taking a lot of damage from rocks when he comes in. Florges is slightly less than half. Yeah, I just got to keep my my Landorus. I don't want to take any more damage on my Landorus, just so I can kill that Talonflame. I could also kill Talonflame if I can get Kyurem behind a sub. But yeah. All right. Well, he's taken forever. He might have just given up at this point. I really hope not, however, but we'll see. I'm really glad that Sableye is dead, though. That thing's such a pain in the ass. And double status is not very common, so it was kind of a pain to see that. I was not expecting that at all. Because they usually carry Knockoff, Foul Play, Recover, and Will-O-Wisp, and are physically defensive, so... It does look like he's just timer stalling now. He's down to 30 seconds, so... You gotta love OU. This is why I kind of switched to UU, and I was playing that a little bit more. I think the people in UU were a little bit more polite, a little bit more friendly. Whereas I don't know, I find people in OU who are just here to win. They don't really care. So he tried to turn the battle timer off at less than 10 seconds, so... He's definitely being a chode. I'm really... Alright, so it doesn't start back again at 150. That's kind of nice, at least. Lost due to inactivity. Alright. Well, that's going to conclude this session. This is probably a really long video, so... I do like this team a little bit more than the old team, but even with the exclusion of Genesect, so... Thanks for watching, guys. I'm going to go find another battle now.